There are so many ways to build your business. And sometimes I feel like there is so little time. It's easy to get overwhelmed, to be honest. Um, as we are approaching the end of the year, I'm thinking about what kind of next meaningful, impactful project I could take on. Should I launch my own podcast? Should I write another book? Should I think about events, in-person events, and doing some speaking maybe? There are many options in front of me. One of the ways that I have applied the strategic choices that I've made better strategic choices for MetaHelm is to be able to look at projects as sometimes I say it's not a project, it's a process, right? I try to maintain it and I try to explore it without knowing exactly how it's going to fly, but I get some principles and I try it and I repeat it over and over and over and over. And in the beginning, things are hard. Things don't feel right. We feel like maybe we're lucky, we have a few moments where it works fine, but overall, what we do is not really, really great. It's not until we've repeated each thing, each processes, each steps a number of times, like sometimes hundreds of times, that we finally are in interpretation mode, and we're not just reciting, we're not just writing, trying to make the mechanics way, but we're a little bit detached from the mechanics and we are more into interpretation mode. So let me give you some example because I feel like I might be a bit conceptual here. About a year and a half ago, I decided I wanted to do live courses and record them and maybe sell my courses. And I launched, I had previous experience doing this, rehearsing a lot and planning a lot, but this time I wanted to do something more spontaneous. So I launched with the ideas that every month I would do a 90-minute course, and maybe you've been on some of my courses. And after a year and a half, I've learned a great deal. I've learned already, really what it takes to launch those courses, down to a level of details that I was not assuming before, that could have never imagined. So as I say this, I'm reflecting on this particular process and I'm seeing really kind of this evolution in this curve. And that particular process of sharing and publishing my thoughts in a meaningful and authentic way every month through live workshops has now giving me the chance to express myself more spontaneously. I can be creative live in the moment, and it's all because I have had the discipline to do it every single month and document and refine every time and make it better and better and better and better and better over time. And I think it's going to be just a lifelong journey until, for me, doing a course is just second nature. I do it like I brush my teeth or I go to bed or I go on a walk or talk to my friends or pick up the phone, right? I've integrated it so much that it's just natural for me. Whereas a year and a half, ago, it was not at all natural. So building your business doesn't happen overnight. And it happens through what one of my colleagues calls circular learning. You try something and you move away and you come back at it and you move away again, you forget. And then you come back at it over and over and over and over and over again, right? Practice never makes perfect, but practice makes you better for sure. You gain confidence through this, over and over and over. When I used to be a graphic facilitator, drawing conversations live, I remember I practiced, strokes and strokes and strokes and rolls of papers and rolls of paper until it was interesting. I was like, my arm, sometimes I would look at my arm and it would kind of draw naturally without me. It was almost like I was coming outside of my body. Building your processes for your company can be the same. Build one area at a time, experiment with it. And once you feel like you're juggling without looking at each ball, but achieve that level of agility, of fluidity, then add another ball. Building your business is like juggling, add another ball and add another ball and add another ball, but start small. Some of my clients are in a hurry. They feel like they don't have enough time on this planet and they just want to rush through things. They want things immediately. They feel the pressure, they feel the anxiety, they feel, the stress. And I remember I used to feel like that too. But now I have learned to pace myself and to accept that things take time and that learning takes time. So I invite you to approach the construction of your business as that circular motion of the learning journey that you are on, adding one thing at a time. Maybe just like me, you started doing webinars or selling like a better expert. I offer 12 options for you in the strategic narrative canvas, my main framework. You can look it up on my website. I'm just giving you 12 balls that you can juggle with, right? But my invitation today is to start juggling with one ball at a time, not all 12 balls at a time. And that's okay if it's not perfect. And that's okay if you're just going little by little, but do it so that from the get-go, you build solid foundations so that your business is sustainable. So first, what do you need to start with? What is the core thing that you need to start with? Is to have something of value to provide to someone in exchange for money. That's the basic rule of a business. Basic foundational rule of a business. And yet, so many of us assume that our potential clients know what we have to offer. And we assume that we know what they want to buy. And yet, we still need to go through that basic step of aligning our interest, our value, and seeing if we are able to provide something of value that also makes us excited, that makes us joyful, that makes us competent also, and that we love doing over and over and over again. So that's where you would start in that array of 12 processes and 12 options. It would be strategic alignment. I would call it strategic positioning. It's to position your offers, and it's also how you connect with your clients. That's what comes first before a website, before a book, before anything else. The basic level is what is it that you're going to offer. Once you have this, you can think in terms of marketing and how you make sense of what you're doing, develop evolutionary purpose, and then you may want to turn to your operations and build the systems that helps you be more agile in planning and be more healthily, be more productive in a healthy way, and then take care of yourself as a practitioner. So these are all balls that you add to it. But if at first you can't, work with the basics, the whole system is going to collapse. So take your time, pace yourself, and learn with that circular motion. Another metaphor that I want to use is the metaphor of music. Before you can play an instrument with great velocity and great agility, you have to learn the basic scale. If you're playing piano, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 5 fingers, hopefully 10 fingers with the other hand, and just one note at a time. Once you know your notes, you play 2 at a time and it becomes a chord. And then once you know a melody, for instance, you can add the second hand. So that's how you build up your skills. That's how you become a better artist and musician. The same goes for entrepreneurship. Don't try to tackle everything at once. You're going to be overwhelmed. There are so many options. Build one process at a time, add one ball at a time, just like the jugglers do, or the artists do, or the professional entrepreneurs that you've already become, or you are already, or you're about to become. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your comments on this thought. Thank you.